Now at 6, we're hearing from family tonight of the Indianapolis woman who was brutally raped and murdered in the early 90s. Her brother's message after police make an arrest 31 years later.
Cold front number 2 is coming across Indiana, bringing cooler air for your Labor Day. It has popped up a quick shower or two. We're going to track them coming up.
A Beech Grove teenager is recovering in the hospital tonight after a shooting, the latest from police. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News. An Indianapolis family is getting some answers tonight after an arrest in a 31-year-old cold case. Good evening, I'm Gina Galeros in tonight for Jenny Runovich. Carmen Van Huss was 19 years old when police say she was brutally raped and murdered at her apartment in the 90s. And tonight, a Missouri man is behind bars. Our Marina Silva spoke with her brother today. She joins us now with how the family is doing.
Well, Gina, Carmen's brother, Jimmy Van Huss, told me over the phone that his family's just trying to process everything right now. They are getting some closure, but they're also just reliving the trauma. Now, he did not want to go on camera, but he did want to tell us about Carmen, the incredible police work, and the importance of DNA evidence. Jimmy Van Huss shared these photos with us of his older sister, Carmen. She was raped and stabbed at her apartment dozens of times in 1993. Her father found her body after she didn't show up to work. Jimmy, who is several years younger, says he and his sister were starting to get close. She was studying art at the time she was killed. She would bring home stray animals so they would have a home. He says the IMPD detective who helped solve this case worked for years to get answers outside of his regular duties. Now, they did communicate regularly for updates, and Friday, Jimmy finally got the call that they had been waiting for 31 years to get an arrest in the case. Police found Dana Shepard working as a custodian at the University of Missouri. Now, thanks to the DNA match, that is how they were able to make that arrest, and he's hopeful the police can solve other cold cases like his sister's in the future with the help of DNA evidence.
Yeah, and that's one of the points that he really wanted to drive home, to keep Carmen's memory alive,
Yes.
to talk about that brutal murder, and then also that DNA evidence that was so crucial in IMPD's work in solving the case. That detective outside, he's not even a homicide detective.
Absolutely, no. One of the things Jimmy says, there were thousands of hours put into this that detective was never assigned to be doing, were likely unpaid. He was doing that because he wanted answers for this family.
Right.
What happened to Carmen?
Yeah.
Who hurt her?
Yeah. Of course, you get some closure here, but this family is reliving the trauma. So what is next in the case, the beginning of what's to come here?
Yeah, so Jimmy says IMPD has a news conference planned for Tuesday, and Jimmy says he is planning to be there. Dana Shepard, that's the man that is in the Missouri jail tonight, and he has a hearing Wednesday. Now, that hearing is actually in Missouri. That's where a judge is going to decide if he's going to be able to come back here to Indy to then face a judge to go through the case. That's called an extradition hearing.
Okay, thank you very much, Marina. New tonight, remains recovered in Greenwood more than 30 years ago have been identified. Those remains were found in 1993 near I-65 at what is now Audi Golf Course in Greenwood. The Johnson County coroners identified them as Michael Davis from South Carolina. Davis's loved ones had not seen or heard from him since the 80s. He was in his mid-20s when he died. Well, the case has been suspected as a homicide for years. The cause of his death was undetermined. Davis's family will be coming to Indiana to claim his remains. Greenwood will release more details on this case in a news conference planned for Thursday. Tonight, Beech Grove police are investigating after a 17-year-old boy was shot in broad daylight. This happened around 3 o'clock this afternoon near 9th Avenue and Bellefontaine Street. The teenager is having surgery at Eskenazi Hospital and is listed in serious but stable condition. Beech Grove police say it's important to get guns out of hands that they shouldn't be in.
It's a problem that even Beech Grove isn't absent from, but something that we work hard towards trying to prevent, and will continue to try to do so.
Officers say this appears to be isolated. They do not have any suspect information available. If you have information, you're asked to call Beech Grove Police or Crime Stoppers.
We are tracking another cold front coming into central Indiana. We've already cooled off now to the 70s at Purdue, Kokomo. We're sitting right there at 77. IU, still some 80s. We're about to cool down here shortly. That front is just now coming through Zionsville and Carmel, about to sweep right through downtown Indianapolis. Once you get the front to pass through, north winds are going to pick up a little bit. In fact, we can kind of see where that front is on radar. It's actually picking up some bugs and some birds, so these aren't radar returns coming from rainfall or anything, but we're getting that north wind right through Avon and Brownsburg. Greenfield, we're about to get it too. Now, this little cell right near Lake Lemon, just west and north of Bloomington, that is a rain cell. We also have a couple more rain cells that have popped up towards the east. Now coming into Henry County, Newcastle, kind of surrounded by some of these quick downpours. Winchester coming right through, headed down towards Fountain City, Centerville, Richmond, Hagerstown. Watch out for a couple of these cells probably coming in towards Richmond. Here just about 653, Centerville 649, and Connorsville 714. So coming up, we're going to let you know how cool it's going to get, and we'll have your forecast for the rest of the evening.
We'll see you then. Thank you, Matt. A South Bend police officer is on leave tonight after a shooting early this morning. Officers were called to some sort of disturbance around 4 o'clock this morning. One officer reported shots being fired and then says he shot back. A male is being treated at the hospital after being shot. We're not sure of his age. A female also hurt, but not by gunfire. She's also being treated at the hospital. No officers were injured. This week, construction will begin on the Henry Street Bridge. It'll connect downtown to the near west side over the White River. The DPW director says it's all part of the White River Innovation District and an agreement with Elanco to support its new headquarters.
It's going to be a major cultural destination. It's going to be an important focal point for the city, and it's going to be an important asset for the near west side.
Earlier this year, the project faced pushback following the discovery of human remains from the former Greenlawn Cemetery. Since then, the city has promised to excavate the area first.
The powers to be have decided the bridge will be built, and this is probably the best option, is to actually go in and actively seek out those that are left behind and move them.
Now, the plan is to start construction on the west side of the river sometime next week and then move to the east side after the excavation is complete. Construction is expected to be completed by the fall of 2026. Happening now, the 2024 Butterfine Art Fair is wrapping up downtown. A block of 10th Street between Capitol and Senate has been packed with people enjoying this event. Our Anna Chalker shows us why it's a special weekend for organizers and visitors.
When you step inside the Butterfine Arts Fair,
it feels like a family reunion. It feels like a class reunion.
You're joining hundreds who share a similar love of art.
I've seen so many smiles. I've seen kids running and having the time of their lives. I've seen artists selling artwork, so it feels amazing.
This year, more than 60 different artists were featured, with 100% of the sales going back to them. Director Deanna Craig says this weekend reminded her how powerful art can be.
Sometimes I just stand in the middle of the street and just watch because it seems like it can be over so fast, and we've poured a month after month after month of work into this.
Organizers say each year the Butter Art Fair gets a little more special, not because of all the added pieces, but the growing community this fair has created.
We've always been kind of looking for this crowd, especially as people of color or Black Americans, and just coming and seeing that here and seeing us represented and seeing the artwork that comes out from our community is just, it was so inspiring.
Inspiration. Families like the Mitchells hope their kids feel as well.
I don't care if it looks awful or if it doesn't look great, and I don't care if I don't even know who the artist is. I would just like it either way.
As people leave, organizers hope they take that inspiration to their communities. In Indianapolis, Anna Chalker, 13 News.
The Colts kick off the NFL season 1 week from today. Head coach Shane Steichen talks about what he's seeing in the team ahead of week 1 next. Plus, a U.S. citizen is among the 6 hostages killed by Hamas this weekend. How Israeli citizens are reacting to this discovery.